I want to introduce you to Chad and Jennifer Brackeen. They're some amazing people that are part of a case that we're involved in that involves foster children and the rights of Texas children. And their case is going to make a tremendous difference, not just in Texas, but really across the nation. Why don't you all tell us a little bit about being foster parents, why you're foster parents, and your son's adoption story?
Sure. So 4 years ago, we felt a very profound calling from God leading us to become foster parents and serve children that needed a safe home. In June of about 2016, we received a call from CPS, actually a little different than the other calls, for an infant boy of Indian descent. Now, we didn't really know what that meant, but the caseworker told us that he would be in our home for just a few months while they found a native family, and we're happy to provide that home.
So he was about 9 months old when he came into our home, and we fell in love with him right away. Over the next year, we did everything with him. You know, we celebrated his birthday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and he was just part of our family. And we have 2 biological sons, and they also love being a big brother to him.
So how's this placement different than your other placements?
Well, he'd been in our home for a year, thriving. Unfortunately, at that point, his parents' rights had been terminated. There were no other biological family able to provide a home for him. He really needed to be adopted. Because of the Indian Child Welfare Act, it said that the natives had the ultimate say as to what his placement would be. Unfortunately, with our request for adoption, they simply said no.
So at this point, after a year and over half his life, they still didn't have a placement for him. It seemed like no one could tell us how long this baby boy would be waiting for his forever family. So we were really devastated for him.
So how did that make you feel when you realized that after having this child in your home, they were going to take him away?
Well, we couldn't understand it. We didn't know why they were looking so hard to find a forever family for him, because we felt like he already had one. And normally, children who can't be reunited with their biological family, for them to be adopted by their foster family is considered a big success, so that you don't have to disrupt their attachment. But for him, it wasn't an option because of his race.
But we pursued adoption anyway, because we felt like that was the right thing to do. Unfortunately, even with the support of his biological family, many other people that were involved with the case, the judge said because of ICWA, he had to deny our adoption.
So what type of impact would have been on your son?
I remember exactly. It was a Thursday after that denial. CPS called and said on Saturday he was going to be ripped from our home abruptly and moved states away from us, from his parents in the area, from his grandparents, cousins, and moved to a native family, unrelated, someone he had only spent 2 hours with a few weeks prior.
So we had to keep fighting for him, fighting for his best interest and for the best interest of other children like him.
We understand that culture is important and the historic tragedy of native families being separated. But at some point, the repeated breaking of attachments has to outweigh those benefits.
So you won your case to adopt your son at the state level. Why did you continue?
Not all cases end the ways ours did. In fact, we hear stories of other people in the same situations across the country. Like there's 2 other families in the state that are going through the same pains and struggles that we are and fear for their children. We did that so that we can advocate that their best interest, the interest of the child, is what is considered in these adoptive placements, not their race.
And even though we were able to adopt our son, our family is still affected by this law. And so we will continue to be passionate for this fight for our family and for many other forever families.
So I want to thank you both for being willing to fight for the best interests of this little boy. And it's obviously going to have an impact, not just on him and your family, but it's going to have an impact across the entire nation. So as we take this case to the Fifth Circuit and argue it on March 13th, stay tuned. It's going to be interesting.